Hello friends, today I'm going to explain you the first chapter of organizational dynamics, that is MS. Okay. So the name of this unit is understanding group. Okay, so one by one I will explain. So here it is ms26 organizational dynamics, and under this organizational dynamics five blocks sorry yes, five blocks are there. So first it is group dynamics, second here it is role dynamics, third it is power dynamics, fourth organizational dynamics, and the fifth one is inter-organizational dynamics. Okay, so first I will go into block 1. So here in this block 1 you can see in the group dynamics what are the units. Now you can see here the first unit is understanding groups. Second, it is phases of group development. Third is group cohesion and alienation. Fourth one is conformity and obedience. Okay. So here I will explain first of all the first unit, that is understanding groups. Okay. So as you can see on your screen, the first point here it is given why study groups, why we should study groups. Okay, what is the reason behind that we need to study groups? Okay, so the reasons given, first reason given, due to curiosity about human condition. Okay, so we want to know about you can say about human condition, so that's why we study group. Second point given, it helps to understand the psychology of individuals. Okay, so if we study about groups, so we can understand the psychology of people, because different types of people want to join different types of group. Okay, so to what type of group an individual has joined, that tells us about what type of psychology that person possesses. Then the third point given, group became a means to accomplish tasks and reach goals that were simply impossible the individual alone. It means there are some tasks which individuals cannot do alone. So for those tasks, okay, or for those goals to achieve, people join together, okay, come together and form group to accomplish and achieve that goal. Okay. Fourth point given, group is a source of warmth, affection, of tenderness and support, and a sense of identity and collective security. So from group, these things we get, just like warmth, affection, tenderness, support. So we get support from the group. Affection means warmth, affection from the group also we get. Okay, and a sense of identity and collective security. So from what group we belong, or what group we choose to be part of, so that decides our identity. So what type of person we are. Then the fifth one given, group is the creator and transmitter of culture, language and technical know-how. So through group we transmit, okay, the culture, a language and technical know-how. Okay, so in which group you are, so in whatever group you are or you belong to, so you transmit, means whatever knowledge, language or culture you possess, so you transmit to other member of the group, and the same way other member of the group also transmit language, culture and technical know-how to you. Okay, then the sixth given, groups are the building blocks of society. So society is made up of so many, you can say, combination of different groups. Okay, so these are the six reasons why we should study groups. Okay, then the next heading given here, given the description and nature of groups. Whatever choices, so description and nature of groups we have to study. So under that written, whatever choices the individual makes, these are already circumscribed by group influences. The less awareness there is of these influences, the more circumscribed the choices and greater the lack of awareness. It means here, meaning whatever the choices individual makes, so these are already circumscribed by group influences. Okay, so if you are in a group, so group influences you to make certain choices. Okay, or in other words, we can say that whatever decision you make under the consideration of the group, under the influence of the group. Okay, and if you are aware about these influences of the group, then in that case you are likely to make decisions and act in a different way as compared to when you are not aware of those influences. Okay, so water groups. So now you can see here water groups. A group is an aggregate of people playing interrelated roles and reorganized or recognized by themselves or other as a unit of interaction. You can see a group is an aggregate of people. Okay, aggregate of people means people join together, come together. Okay, and they interact with each other and recognize themselves as a unit. Okay, people join, come together. Okay, and interact with each other to achieve certain goal, and they recognize themselves as a unit. Okay, so there are two major categories of groups. So what are these two major categories of groups? First is natural group and second is created group. So the distinction only relates to the nature of their origin and not their behavioral pattern of which they are composed of. It means we can say that whether it is a natural group, whether natural groups or created groups, okay, behaviors are going to be similar, but the origin are different. Just for example, origins are different. For example, natural groups are, you know what, created in or you can say originated from different things, and created groups are originated from different things. So l- here the distinction only relate to the nature of the origin, means from where the natural or created groups or means come from. So there, that is the only difference. Okay, but there is no distinction or differences in between these two in terms of behavior. So similar type of behavior will be for both of these. Okay, so how? Now you can see here, I will explain. So here given first, natural groups. So natural groups arise out of everyday needs of human beings. They are spontaneous generation and arise from circumstances that occur as an integral part of human existence. Natural groups arise out of everyday needs of human beings. So whatever everyday needs, okay, here given out of everyday needs of human beings. So we are human beings, so for survival or for living we need certain things. So for those certain things we form groups. Okay, we join group. Otherwise if we don't need those certain those things for survival or for some other reasons, then we are not going to join groups. So we join groups and we behave according to groups because our requirements or whatever needs are there for us, so those needs are fulfilled. So that's why we join and behave according to groups. Okay, then the next given, created groups. So the group is, I means created groups are artificial. Okay, art means created by human being. Artificial things are synthesized by man. Artificial things can be characterized by functions, goal and adaptation. Artificial things are often discussed. So here artificial the groups are created by human being for a purpose. In case of natural groups, that is automatic, means that arises out of the needs. Okay, so we don't consider, or you can say in in a systematic way we don't create such natural groups. So those natural groups are created automatically. And but in case of created groups, so we create groups for some purposes. Okay, so here it was about understanding rules. So this part it was from ms26, but some concepts I was not able to get in a better way, so that's why I selected another book, that is social psychology. Means in that subject also we have to study about groups, so that's why it will be better to understand from this subject, means social psychology. Okay, this is mpc 004 for this is master's level social psychology. So in this also the first unit is introduction of groups, formation, uh, types of group. Okay, so here about group so many things will be cleared, means in technical terms everything will be clear. So here in the social psychology part, unit 1 given introduction to group, formation and types of group. So here first point given important features of group. So what are important features of group? First given, one or more individuals come together and influence each other. In a group, people come together and influence each other. Second point given, there are social interaction and relationships amongst the individual members of a group. There are social interaction, means people interact with each other and make a different relationship amongst the individual, means they interact and make some different types of relations, okay, in the group. Third given, there exist some common motives, drives, interests, emotions, etc amongst group members. Okay, so there are some common, okay, there are some common things among group members. So what are these common things? Maybe common motives, common drives, common interests, common emotions. Okay, so the out of these things may be any one of these or all of these. Okay, the fourth point given, there is a communication among group members, both verbal and non-verbal. Both type of communications are there. Fifth given, they have common loyalty and participation in similar activities. They have common loyalty and participation in similar activities. And they have loyalty towards group and they participate in the group. Then next given, there is a feeling of unity in the group. So in the group, members feel like a unit. Actions of members are controlled by the group. Means here in the beginning already mentioned that group influences the behavior of group members. So that's why action of members are controlled by the group. Okay. Then there are customs, norms and procedures which are acceptable to everyone. Okay, in each and every type of group there are some different types of custom, norms and procedures by which are acceptable to everyone. Okay, if norms, if there is no norm or custom or procedure, then in that case group cannot form. So that's why there are custom, norms and procedures which are acceptable to everyone. Means everyone means every group member. Now next point given, characteristics of a group. So what are the characteristics? First, a sense of we feeling. So the first characteristic, a sense of we feeling. There is a feeling of belongingness among the members of the group. So it means we can say group members feel that they belong to the group. Okay, or a sense of we feeling. Then next event, common interest. So I'm talking about characteristics of a group. So here, common interest. So group members have common interest, a feeling of unity. Group members feel like unit, related to each other. They are related. Group members are related to each other. Affected by group characteristics. Group characteristics means they are affected. Means whatever type of group uh, the member is. Okay, means you can say that if any person belong to any particular group. Okay, So that person is going to be affected by the characteristic of that group, means what type of group, so that is, so that will affect the member. Common values, so group has common values. Okay, means group members value some common thing. Control of groups, so you can say group controls the behavior of the members, individuals who join the group. Obligation, all members have complementary obligation to each other. So here given obligation means all members have complementary obligation, means they are responsible, means for each other, so they support each other, means whatever the behavior of an individual or a member of a group, so that is influenced, the behavior is influenced by the member, or you can say other members of the group. Expectations, so it, if mutual expectation is fulfilled, the group members are maintained intact. So here given a mutual expectation, so many individual join together to form a group. So mutual expectation means each individual has expect some types of expectations. If those expectations are going to be fulfilled, then in that case the individual will remain in the group, or will be the part of the group. And if the expectations are not going to be fulfilled, then in that case that individual uh, will not remain the part of the group, he will leave the group. Okay, then the next point given, group formation and related theories. Okay, so first I will explain group formation, then after I will explain the theories of group. Okay, so first what is given, there are mainly 5 stages of group development or group formation, you can say. So the first stage, it is given forming. So what is forming first? So forming is actually an orientation period when members get to know one another and share expectations about the group. Here members get to know what is expected of them. Okay, so here some mistake here. So I will correct. Okay, here them. Okay, so here given, so forming is actually an orientation period when members get to know one another. So in the forming stage, group members, okay, or individuals come to know each other. They get the information about each other, and share expectation about the group. Expectation means each member, what is the expectation of an individual. Okay, so that is come to the fore, or you can see, you can say that other group members come to know that what others have expectation from the group. Then the second is storming. So storming is the stage where one can see the highest level of disagreement and conflict. So in the storming is the stage when one can see the highest level of disagreement and conflict. So in this, the highest level of disagreement and conflict is there. Members mainly voice their concern and criticism occurs at this stage. So at the second stage of group development, here members voice their concern and criticism occurs at this, means they voice their concern, means why they have joined, so what are the expectations, they voice their concern about these things, and due to this concern and these things, members members so many time, members conflict with each other, they fight with each other. Okay, and they criticize each other at this stage. So here you can say in storming, so the critical aspect or critical things, means critical thoughts of the individual members come to the forefront, and other members come to know that what others have expectation about the group, from the group. whether that is acceptable or not. So these all things come to the fore. So that's why if some thoughts or some expectations are not in accordance with the others, or there are some that is not, if some thoughts or expectations are not acceptable by others or not tolerable by others, then in that case there will be criticisms, there will be conflicts. Okay. Then comes norming. Then in norming, what happens? You see, norming is characterized by the recognition. Okay, norming is characterized by the recognition of individual differences. Here in the storming process stage, individuals or the group members get to know the differences about others. So, what are the differences among them, among group members? So here characterized by the recognition. Here they, in the storming, they come to know, and here they recognize. So what is characterized by recognition of individual difference, here they recognize and shared expectation. So here in case of norming, uh, group members recognize the individual differences, and what are shared expectation. Responsibilities are divided among members, and the group decides how it will evaluate progress. Okay. Expectation of one another are clearly articulated and accepted by the members of the group. Here in norming stage, whatever expectations are there, means here at this stage particularly, group members agree that what are different duties they have. Okay, responsibilities are divided. Okay, the responsibility are divided among the members. So what each member has to do according to the group norms and values, so they accept those responsibilities, because responsibilities are divided among them. Expectation of one another are clearly articulated, means what are the expectation clearly, means articulated, meaning here you can say whatever things are there, everything come to the fore, and each member accept according to the responsibilities in what they have to do. So that's what it is in norming. So in other words, we can say in simple term, we can say responsibilities are divided among member, so conflicts are decreased at this stage. Then performing comes, then performing. So here at the performing stage, performing occurs when the group has matured and attains a feeling of cohesiveness. So performance here, the group members feel cohesiveness, means they feel attractiveness towards each other. Members of the group make members of the group make decisions through a rational process that is focused on relevant goals rather than emotional issues. Okay, by rational way they make decisions rather than making rather than using emotional issues. The group is focused on its task. Now at this stage, the group is ready to focus on its tasks, working effectively to accomplish its goal. Okay. Then comes adjourning. Adjourning here, it is the final stage when the group, after achieving the objectives for each other, sorry, for which it was created, start to gradually dissolve itself. It means now when the group has achieved its goal, then in the end, in the adjourning stage, the group is- the group starts to gradually dissolve itself. So that is adjourning. Okay, so one final review I want to do for this. The first is group form, here forming. So in the forming stage, individual members come to know each other. Storming stage, there are a highest level of conflicts and disagreement because of differences of individual differences of group members. Then comes the norming. In norming stage, so individual members come to know about individual differences also and shared expectation also. So in storming only differences, now here shared expectation also they come to know. Okay, so that's why they settle down at certain things, and responsibilities are divided accordingly. Then comes performing here. At this stage, members of the group make decisions through rational. So in performing, they means individual group members use rational method to make decisions rather than emotional. So here, the group members start working or start to perform for whatever purpose the group was created. Then comes the last one. It is the adjourning. At adjourning stage, the group member adjourning when the goal is achieved, then at this stage the group starts to gradually dissolve itself. Okay, now next comes theories of group formation. So here given first, the theories are established hypotheses which explain a particular phenomena. Okay, what are theories? Theories are established hypothesis. Hypothesis means opinion, a type of opinion which explain a particular phenomenon or a particular happening. So the first theory of group formation, it is given classic theory. According to classic theory of group formation, groups develop on the basis of activities, interaction and sentiments mainly. So why group forms? So group forms on the basis of activities. What type of activities individual members uh, perform? Interaction, individual members should interact, and sentiments, so they should have certain type of sentiment. When individuals share common activities, they will have more interaction. Okay, now you can see when. So now these three terms, activities, interaction and sentiments, are going to be interrelated with each other. So how? When individuals share common activities, if they are performing some common activities, then they will have more interaction and will develop attitudes toward each other. So that is, now you see, so when they are performing some common activities, for example, if in a shop two people are there working together, so it means what? They are performing similar type of work, and when they are performing similar type of work, they are going to interact with each other, and when they are interacting with each other, then they are going to develop certain type of attitudes. Okay, for each other or for others. So that's why here, that is develop attitudes, that is sentiment towards each other. Okay, this is about classic theory. Then the second theory is social exchange theory. Social exchange theory says, according to social exchange theory, individuals form the relationship on the basis of implicit expectations of mutually beneficial exchanges. So why individuals form the relationship? Okay, because of implicit expectation. So they expect from each other something of mutual beneficial exchanges. Okay, means whatever their expectations, so those expectations should benefit each other. Okay, on the basis of trust and felt obligation. So social action theory says that individuals form relationship on the basis of implicit expectation of mutually beneficial, means on the basis of those expectation, relationships are formed on the basis of expectation from each other, on trust and felt obligation. Then third comes social identity theory. So social identity theory suggests that individuals get a sense of identity and self-esteem based on their membership in silent groups. Social identity means, this theory says that individuals get a sense of identity. So when individuals join any group or become part of any group, then that person feels a sense of identity. Okay, identity means then from where he belongs, he or she belongs. So that nature, or you can say that want of the people to be belong to any particular thing or particular group causes the people to join or to part of a group. So this is about social identity theory. Now some rules are given to govern groups. Okay, so here given 10 rules that govern groups. So according to these rules, means how groups function. Okay, how group function. So these rules will tell about the how group functions. So the first rule, groups can arise from almost nothing. The desire to form and join social group is extremely powerful and built into our nature. So it is our nature to join groups. It is our nature to be in group. Okay. So sorry, inis, initiation rights improve group evaluation. Initiation rights. So groups are evaluated on the basis of initiation rights. Groups breed conformity. Then fourth given rule, learn the ropes to be or to be ostracized. Means learn the ropes means learn to behave according to the group, or you are going to be ostracized, or you are going to be punished, like that. Groups norms are extremely pervasive. This becomes all the more obvious when we start breaking them. So now you can see pervasive means here, if you break the rules of the group, then you will get to know that there are certain influences by the group due to which you are acting and you are behaving in a certain way. Okay, then there are so many things to cover, but whatever it will be the time I will cover, whatever time it will take. Okay, now the fifth rule given, you become your job. So whatever you do, whatever it is your job, so that it will decide so what you are. So people have roles within groups and corresponding rules that apply. Now you can see, you become your job. People have roles within groups and corresponding rules that apply to justify their position. So whatever your job is, that will decide that so in what type of group, or you are going, in what type of group you will join, or you will become the part of. Leadership gain trust by conforming. So leadership gain trust by conforming. So leadership, whatever it is, the leadership that comes from conforming means adjusting according to the members of the group, or according to the norms and rules and regulations of the group. Groups can improve performance. People will love. About 80% of the time people are talking about work, and a surprising 80% of the information are accurate about work. Means in group 80% of the time people talk about the work, and groups breed competition. So in the group different types of competition emerge. Now types of group comes next. On the basis of intimacy, group can be divided into two groups: primary groups and secondary group. So first, on the basis of intimacy, so it means how closely individual members are related with each other. On the basis of that, we can divide groups into two: primary and secondary. So here, in case of primary group, there is an intimate face-to-face relationship among the members, and the members are having we feeling to the maximum. Okay, here intimate face-to-face relationship among the members. So members have face-to-face relationship, and the members are having we feeling to the maximum. This is the maximum uh, extent of we feeling in the group, and that group is primary group. For example, family, play groups, village community, etc. Secondary groups. In case of secondary groups, what are the things given? Here the relationships are more or less casual and marked by common interest. Here casual relationships are there in secondary groups, and here individual members join together only due to some common interest. For example, given club, trade unions, for example trade unions, so they have some common interest, because maybe in the laborers want increased wages, okay, or some extra benefit from the employer, so that's why they join together to form group or to form trade union, because trade union it is also type of group. Okay, then next comes on the basis, on the basis of norms and rules. Okay, here it was on the basis of intimacy, primary and secondary group, and on the basis of norms. Here I can underline this, norms and rules. Groups can be categorized into following types. The first given, formal group, okay, on the basis of norms and rules. So formal group, it is generally formed on the basis of specific norms. So formal groups are formed on the basis of specific norms, rules and values. Okay, so here for example given groups of students in the class, so they have certain rules to follow, they have certain values, and they are influenced by certain norms. So that's why formal groups are formed on the basis of specific norms, values and rules. Then next comes informal. So the informal group, the rules are usually flexible here in this case. In case of formal group, rules are not flexible, but in case of informal groups, rules are flexible. So examples given, play groups, peer groups, etc. Now next comes group structure. So it refers to the pattern of interrelationship that exists among group members and makes the groups functioning orderly. Here given interrelationship that exists among group members. So how group members are interrelated or connected with each other. So that is group structure. The important aspect of group structure are given. First, role. Roles are the typical part played by an individual group member in accordance with the expectation of the other members from him. Okay, members from him. So role, it is what roles are the typical part played, means you can say roles are type of behavior which the individual member has to perform according to what here given members, in accordance with the expectation of others, means according to the expectation of other members of the group, the individual uh, member will behave. So that is the rule. Second, norms are rules and mutual expectation that develop within the group. So that norms means rules and mutual expectation. Simple. Norms are rules and mutual expectations that develop within the group. So inside group, whatever rules and mutual expectations are there, so that those things form norms. Status. So status, what is status? Now next given is status. Okay, so status in the relative is the relative prestige or social position given to groups or individuals by others. So what is status? Is a relative prestige, means as prestige, it is a type of value given to any particular individual member as compared to others, okay, in the group. Then group cohesiveness, it refers to the degree of attraction to group members for each other and the we feeling among the members. So group cohesion means how closely the individual members are attached with each other. Okay, so that decides group cohesiveness. Now next comes group conflict. So group conflict here. So group conflicts or group intrigues. Group conflict is where social behavior causes groups of individuals to conflict with each other. This conflict. So okay, now group conflict means when individual members of a group have different behaviors or different opinions or different values, then the group conflict arises. This conflict is often caused by differences in social norms, values, and religion. Okay, so these are the causes due to which group conflict arises. Both constructive and destructive conflict occurs in most small groups. Next given here, group behavior and group action. Okay, so what is group behavior and what is group action? I will explain. So group behavior refers to the situation where people interact in large or small groups. So here group behavior means situation where people interact in large or small groups. If people are interacting with each other, whether it is in large group or a small group, that is known as group behavior. And here comes group behavior differs from mass action, which refers, so group behavior, it is different from mass action. So what is mass action? So mass action refers to people behaving similarly on a more global scale. Similarly, so here mass action means, now for example given, for example shoppers in different shops. Okay, while group behaviors refers to usually to people in a one place. So group behavior means uh, group behavior requires that the members of the group should behave in according to the norms of the group at any particular place. It means the place, a particular place is required for group behavior. But in case of mass action, a particular place is not required, so it may happen globally. For example, the shoppers may behave in the same way all over the world. Okay, so that is mass action, not the group behavior. Then next comes, if group behavior is coordinated, then it is called group action. Okay, so now you can see group behavior is coordinated. So the term it was here, you can see group behavior and group action. So now group behavior is coordinated when people at different places are behaving in a similar way. Okay, and at all places different groups are there, and all those different groups are coordinated, or you can say if those all group behaviors are coordinated, then so that is called group action. Okay, group action is a situation in which large number of agents take action simultaneously in order to achieve a common goal. Their actions are usually coordinated. It means mass action, it is about, now you try to understand the difference in between the mass action and the you can say group action. So mass action, it means individuals behaving in a similar way, but those things are not coordinated with each other. And in case of group action, group behaviors are coordinated. Okay, so group behaviors are coordinated. So that is it. So this is it. This is the end of this first chapter. In the next unit I will explain about group dynamics. So thank you.